y'all. Hey, it's Sister Self Care Sunday, and we are live at our new time, which is 7 o'clock.
Yes.
I am so excited to be here. Welcome to everybody who's joining us. Glad I have my girl Denise with me. How have your week been, Denise?
It's been great. Busy as ever, but you know, still it's been a good week, so I can't complain.
Good, good. I just want to give a shout out to the Avenue of Fashion, the Illinois district. So yesterday, one of my girlfriends and I, we went down there to go have dinner, and they actually had some events going on. They had like I think
Yeah,
jazz on the Ave going on,
yes.
and when I tell you, it was just so much excitement. The people were just, the energy was so positive, and the people were so nice and friendly. The shops were all open. And you had different music playing in different areas, which was really cool. And the restaurants were nice. So if y'all get a chance, if you haven't been there and you're in the Detroit area, you have to go check out the Avenue of Fashion District because it's a whole vibe, y'all. It's a whole vibe, and we had so much fun. So that was really nice, and the weather was wonderful. Oh my goodness! And other real quick, I want to give a shout out to Corktown. We had the remodeled train station down there, and I was having brunch with one of my friends, and it's so beautiful down there, y'all. You got to get down there. They have
Mhm.
turned into a nice park in front of the train station, and right along that area, they have like a ton of restaurants, a ton of restaurants. So if you all have a chance, go out and check it out. But this is Self Care Sunday. We're talking about managing stress and anxiety.
Yes. So let me just tell you guys, stress and anxiety can creep up on all of us. And whether it's from work, whether it's from our family, or just the hustle and bustle of life, but today we're going to share some fantastic techniques and practices that can help you manage anxiety or stress. And we're going to also do that while keeping it fun. So that's what the subject is today, and I'm pretty sure that every last one of us has had some type of stress or some type of anxiety in our lives. So
Absolutely.
yes.
So we want y'all to grab a blanket, get cozy, get comfortable, get in your favorite chair. Um, y'all got to excuse me. I got an eyelash in my
Uh-oh.
eye, and it's giving me the blues. I'm like, come on now. Mind you, I was seeing just fine, y'all, before I got on here. The
Yeah,
lash wasn't doing anything crazy. Now the eyelashes want to act crazy. But
that's all right.
if y'all see me looking through one eye looking like Popeye, y'all know it's because of lash. like, I. So let's get into it. As we talk about, we'll share. We're going to start off by understanding stress and anxiety. Like,
Yeah.
what is it? What does it look like?
Okay. So let's start first of all with stress. Stress is our body's reaction to any type of change that requires an adjustment or response. Okay. It can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be mental. So, just keep that in mind. Now, anxiety, on the other hand, is a feeling of worry or nervousness or uneasiness about something with an uncertain outcome. So, people when they, start feeling anxious, about something, um, you know, uh, a lot of times, when you do feel anxious about a lot of things, there's some techniques that we all can do that can actually help us. And when you look back over the times when we're actually anxious, about something, a lot of times it works out, but at the moment, we can't see that, this is something that could work out, which definitely makes us, feel nervous and, over anxious. So,
Absolutely. And then sometimes, y'all, let's face it, there is a such thing as good stress.
Yes.
Stress that can motivate you.
Yeah.
For example, let's say you have a goal of losing X amount of weight, right, by a certain time frame because maybe you have a reunion coming up or an
Mhm.
anniversary or a special event. So that's a little stress being put on you, but that's also can serve as your motivation to get moving, to get your schedule in place, and to develop a healthy habit. So some stress can be motivating and
Yes.
can lead to a positive outcome. So not all stress is bad,
Right.
but in today's Sister Self Care Sunday, we want to focus on
The bad.
really understanding some of the bad stress,
Yes.
because if it goes unnoticed, it leads to a whole other situation.
Yes.
So let's get into and ask one question here. What are some things that usually cause stress or anxiety with you? If you're watching live, put it in the comments. What are some things that usually cause you stress and anxiety? While folks are putting some comments out there, Denise, what are some things that normally cause you stress and anxiety?
Well, I can tell you one just happened to me recently. So I have a new position at my job. And so, being a supervisor for over 9 years, I've been with the company for 14, but over 9 years at the job, where the position that I was at, of course, I knew everything like boom, boom, boom. Now that I've switched over to a different department and have a different function, um, just learning all of the different avenues and aspects of that job got me anxious and a little stressed because here I am now. I'm not as fast or know everything. Now I have to depend on, am I going to learn this? This is a lot. This is, we're getting in deep now. Will I learn this? And so now that, I've been in a position for like about a month, going on 2 months, I am feeling a lot better. I am getting a lot faster. I am remembering things, that I'm
Okay.
supposed to be remembering. But at
So it was
first,
the stress
that
of the new position gave you stress.
yes, oh
Yeah.
my goodness, yeah, and feeling like, oh my God, am I gonna get all of this? So yes, definitely.
Yeah, I know for me, stress um, comes in the form of, for example, if I'm listening to the news and they're talking about a lot of crazy stuff going on, that give
Oh
me
yeah,
stress. That
yes,
will stress me out. And so when I start hearing too much negativity that's stressing me out because
hmm,
now I'm worried about, starting to get worried, I always go somewhere and center myself and go sit in silence. I try to, focus my attention on the things that I know I can control,
right,
because focusing on stuff out of your control just makes me spiral. So I always go back to what can I control and then
right,
operate from that space. But let's get into understanding like what stress,
yes.
understanding some
The
more
signs and symptoms.
signs. Like how do you know
Yes.
you're stressed and what does it look like?
Okay, so I'm going to give you some signs and symptoms of stress and anxiety. So the physical symptoms, okay? So we have like increased heart rate. I'm going to read some, and then there's going to be a couple of them that I'm going to just go into detail, just so that you know that this is a sign, a physical symptom of stress and anxiety. So we have increased heart rate, we have sweating, we have muscle tension, we have headaches, we have shortness of breath, we have the gastrointestinal issue, we have appetite change, and then we have what's called fatigue. So just think with fatigue, that's constant stress, and anxiety can be draining. So, it leads to a feeling of tiredness and or exhaustion even after you have had adequate rest. So you could still have your 8 hours of, sleep or whatever, but you still feel like, oh my God, I definitely still feel fatigued. I don't feel like going out. I don't feel like doing, things, or that is definitely a one of the physical signs. Also, we have a sleep disturbance. Now, my son recently had this. Um, he's going to Washington, D.C. to law school.
Okay.
And so before he knew anything, we knew God had him, and God got him in law school and got him in a dual degree program and everything. And but before we knew anything, about what was going to happen, where was he going to live, a car, how was he going to get back and forth in regards to, a job, would he have a job to pay for his tuition and different things of that nature. So he was actually having some sleep disturbances,
Okay.
difficulty falling asleep, staying asleep, or
Mm.
experiencing restful sleep. And that can be a common tell, sure sign tell that you actually have a sleep disturbance when you have a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety of not knowing. So
Mhm.
this can, lead to insomnia. It can lead to restless sleep, and to whereas when you wake up the next day, you feel like you hadn't even been asleep at all. Now that we totally trusted God and depended on Him, and I'm just gonna say he don't have no more sleepless nights because hey, he did that thing. But during a time that you don't know, those can be some of the
Symptoms.
the symptoms that you have. So
Yeah, yeah. And in addition to physical symptoms, there are emotional symptoms that can come along with stress. How many
yes.
of y'all get irritable? Like short of patience, right?
Mm,
Restlessness, where you can't sit still, like you
yes.
fidget. You just, you know what I mean? Like you feel like I need to be doing something, but on the same time, you got some physical parts going on. Like Denise talked about some of that fatigue, and you like I'm jittery, but I don't want to do nothing, but I'm restless, right? And then there's a sense of feeling overwhelmed. Now, overwhelm can be a common symptom. Um, and this just means it's to the point where you can't really do anything because emotionally you're like, here, you've reached your threshold of your capacity of what you can take and what you can do. If you can imagine just sense of kind of drowning, like it's you just kind of feel like that. It's really heavy on you. And then there's a fear of, having feelings of fear and panic, being fearful. And then, I'm sure some of us can relate to even feelings of like sadness or even depression as a result of anxiety and of stress, because chronic stress can have you feeling like sad and depressed, and you can tell when your mood is really low. So if you're a person and you normally have a higher vibration with your personality, but lately you've been seeing that you've been trending on the low end of energy, and you're just not feeling yourself, those can all be signs and symptoms of you being stressed and having anxiety. And in addition to the emotional perspective, there are some cognitive symptoms. Denise, you want to give them some information about the
Yes.
cognitive?
So cognitives can be racing thoughts. It can be worrying. Forgetfulness is definitely, a sign. The cognitive, load of stress can impair your memory and the ability to recall information, leading to forgetfulness. There's also difficulty in concentrating. Your anxiety can make it a challenge, challenging for you to focus. Have you ever, been at work and you got, a stressful situation going on, and it's just like you can't focus on the task that you're doing. It could, be leading to a decrease in productivity, to whereas you say to yourself, dang, I haven't done anything all day. We've had some of those days where we have been working. We know that we have a lot to do, at work. And a lot of times, because we are so stressed out or have so much anxiety, that we are less productive, and we have, increased mistakes can happen as well too. So
Mm.
you definitely want to make sure that if you're feeling that way, want to recognize and say, what are, and which we'll get into a little bit in just a little bit, what are some things that we can do to actually counteract that. So
Yeah.
but Burnett, you are going to go ahead in regards to the behavioral symptoms.
Yeah, so sometimes there are changes in our behavior where we practice, maybe there's avoidance. So, where you're not dealing with things straight on, you're avoiding certain people, certain situations. Then there's procrastination. Then there's compulsive behavior. And this doesn't necessarily have to um, be gambling necessarily. But what it can be, what if you pulling at your hair?
Yes.
Or if you're biting your nails. How many, I remember back in the day, I used to bite my nails. Um, and it was just like a nervous thing, like a stress thing. If I start getting stressed, next thing you know, my fingers are finding their way to my mouth and I'm chewing off my nails. So it can be biting your nails, it can be pulling at your hair, it could be picking with your skin. If you find your
Mm-hmm.
hands in your face, or
Yes.
you picking in your face, it could be that. And those are all coping mechanisms that you do to try to soothe yourself unconsciously, even. And so that lets you know that there is a stressful situation present. In addition, there's substance abuse, but also changes in
Mm-hmm.
your social behavior. So let's say, you normally talk to your friends and you normally go out every now and then, or you're in a book club, but all of a sudden you find yourself not doing those activities that you used to do. And you find yourself where, you're not really behaving yourself. You're showing up a little bit out of character. And if you have a good tribe of friends, some of them might pull your coattail and say, like, what's up with you? Like, you acting,
Mm-hmm.
we noticed something going on. Or if you see a friend and they're acting out of character, that can be a sign that they're going through some type of stress and anxiety. For some folks, if you see somebody acting real strange, sometimes they call it the midlife crisis, because they're going through this whole transition from being, to another level of adulthood, and that can be stressful. And in
Yes.
this stress, how you deal with it is sometimes you overcorrect your behavior and start doing things that's out of character for you. So we've talked about things when we talk about understanding the signs and symptoms. We've gone over the physical, the emotional, the cognitive, the behavioral, and we also want to just let you know what kind of happens to the body. So when you're faced with stress and anxiety, the body autonomic nervous system activates your fight or flight response. And this is where your stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol prepare the body to respond in something in a way so it can get away from a threat. So this goes back way back in time. It's just part of our genetic makeup. And a lot of
Mm-hmm.
animals have this, right? But the problem is when there is no threat, or when you stay at that fight or flight for too long and the body can't release it because it's not releasing it, then it causes a strain on your system. So these hormones can cause, physiological changes, including increase in heart rate, heightened senses, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quick breath, a surge of energy, and so they're meant to be used for short term, again, not meant for long term. So if there is, a sense of long term, that's where it's going to cause stress on the body, anxiety, which can lead to illnesses, high
Mm-hmm.
blood pressure, things like that. So, Denise, we've talked about some signs and symptoms. So, if y'all identify with any of those, this show is for you. We're going to give you some tips on how you can manage it. And so, one way to manage it is mindfulness. I touched on this
Yes.
a bit earlier, right? So, if you're feeling stressed, trust and believe, y'all, take some time to unplug. Just
Yes.
unplug, cut the phone off. And you'll be surprised, even if you can just do it for increments of 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You sit in a room by yourself, total silence, right? For just 5 minutes. Maybe it's you sit still outside on the porch or on the patio,
Yes.
and you just allow nature to just be. Allow yourself to be. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you have thoughts going through your mind, try to focus on your breathing, or try to just focus on the sounds that you hear from nature,
Exactly. Yes.
because you want to be present. You want to
Yes.
be present.
And there's also, the exercise, the deep breathing exercise. So, that definitely helps. So let's try it together. So what we're going to do is we're going to inhale, take a deep breath for 4 counts. Then we're going to hold that deep breath for 4 counts. And then we're going to exhale that deep breath for 4 counts as well too. And then we can repeat it again. So let's just do that. Some people, close their eyes, others may, decide they want to keep theirs open. But a way to unplug is to definitely, I like to close my eyes because, closing your eyes, you're not looking at one of the kids doing something, or to whereas it can interrupt you doing, your deep breath exercises and everything, or, so definitely, I like to close my eyes. So let's take in a depth breath, like I said, for 4 count, hold it for 4 count, and exhale. So we're gonna take in a deep breath, exhale. Let's take in a deep breath, exhale. And the more and more you do that, if you even do it for like 5 minutes, just exhaling and inhaling and exhaling, and just holding it, and with your eyes closed, and not having anything on your mind, that can definitely definitely help with stress and your it's anxiety. And it can take you to another place, because sometimes we can feel with the stress or with the anxiety. Sometimes it depends on what it is. Sometimes we get angry with it, but when you do that, it kind of calms you. So
Absolutely. The deep breathing exercise and mindfulness part of dealing with your stress, managing stress and anxiety, it definitely helps you be present, and
yes,
it helps you gain clarity, helps you calm down, and that's what you want. Um,
exactly.
so we'll throw it out there to just say, how do you feel? Like,
Yes,
how did you feel? Like when you practice it regularly, like how do you feel?
I can definitely say that it does, take me to a calming place. And I say, at that point, okay, now let's regroup. Let's, keep in mind, what we're, trying to accomplish here, or to get you back on the right track of saying, okay, you may have felt anxious, because of certain things, but hey, now that I've, taken the deep breaths, now that I'm in a calm state, now let me see what I can actually do, or what tips and techniques that I can actually do to keep me in that calm state, and to
Absolutely.
actually go ahead and proceed, in that calm state, and do the things that you have to do.
Yeah.
So, do any of you practice mindfulness regularly? And if you do, share your favorite mindful techniques, with us in the comments.
Yeah, yeah. Put in the comments what your techniques are. And even if you watch this in replay,
Yes,
still put your comments out there, because we like to use our Sister Self Care Sunday as a tool to help folks throughout the day. So even
yes,
if you don't catch us live and you catch us in replay, we want to have those comments there to
yes,
help others who couldn't be present today. So whenever you watch this, make sure that you put down what are some things you do, right? When you're practicing mindfulness, how do you practice it? What type of breathing activities do you do? If you know
mhm,
of an app, if you know of, any other techniques, please share. This is a venue that we care for our sisters, and we want to share information that entertain, educate, and uplift y'all.
yes,
Now, also, we can get into talking about exercise as a
mhm,
stress reliever. Now,
yes,
remember how we said with stress, your body is preparing itself for some
Yeah.
burst of energy to do something in a short term.
Hmm.
So one way that can help alleviate that stress is definitely working out,
Yes.
because when you work out, physical activity also releases endorphins, which make you feel
Hmm.
good.
Yeah.
That's why if you notice some runners or folks in sports, after they work out, they get this high feeling. They
Yes.
feel really, really good. And runners, they call it the runner's high for runners, but you really do get a boost in your mood. You feel so
Hmm.
much better. So definitely exercising, y'all, has
Right.
a ton of benefits, especially if you're looking for an immediate release
Hmm.
of stress. Exercise is fantastic.
Right. And it doesn't have to be as, intense as, running. You could do like a brisk walk. You could turn on some music in your house and you can just dance, to a song that you hear. I love doing that. And I know that Vanette loves doing that as well, too. We've
Oh,
actually done it together, uh you definitely want to do something like that, or you may do yoga, or have a yoga session, or anything that
mhm,
gets you moving. That's the goal, is to get you moving and to release that built up tension.
that part.
So that
Absolutely.
part. So yes. So you want to, definitely make sure that you do that. So like I said, it doesn't have to be something that's intense, that's going to be an hour long, or anything of that nature. It can be something that's fairly quick. You'll have the same effect.
Yep, yep. So, what are some favorite ways that you exercise? What are some things that you do, Denise? And, to our viewers, put in the comments, what are some exercises that you do that help you relieve stress? For
Well,
me,
I do.
I like the treadmill.
Yes.
I enjoy the treadmill because for me, it's quick. If I need to run, I can run. If I want to walk fast, I can walk fast on it, and it's something I can get to no matter what it's doing outside. So I
Mhm.
enjoy the treadmill. What about you, Denise?
I like to dance, so you know me. So a lot of times I'll, just jump up and, my grandson, he lives with me, so I may go, in front of him and start dancing, have some music on and be like, come on, come and dance with me. Or if I have one of the grandkids or something over, I'll jump up and, dance with them and they'll dance with me. So definitely dancing is, I'll just do that anywhere, regardless of whether it's by myself, or with a family member. So
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And speaking of dance, y'all, listen, if you've had a stressful week, go out dancing.
yes, definitely.
Because those hustles, those line
Oh,
dancing, what?
yes.
That's you get a bunch of steps in and it's so
Yes.
fun. Oh my
Yes.
God. Y'all, me and Denise, we used to go dancing, and let me tell you, they had my
Mhm.
sister on the floor, baby. On the floor, be lined up, but that's a whole nother show out. We'll have to have that later, but we'll have that later.
Right.
Back to the story, little back to the regular scheduled programming here.
Right.
Dance is a great way. Dance is a great way of feeling good. So in the comments, y'all, what do y'all do? What type of exercise do y'all do?
Yes.
Is it jumping jacks? I know somebody who
Hmm.
loves to jump rope.
Hmm.
Like they love to jump rope. So anything really that can be good cardio that can really help you release all that energy that you have from stress, it's gonna be a great
Yes.
way to get rid of it. So put that down there. And so now we've talked about, mindfulness, we talked about exercise, and these are all
Mhm.
ways that we manage stress, right? But now let's talk about some relaxation,
Yeah.
y'all. Let's talk about how we wind down, how you just relax. So, it could be something as simple as taking a warm bath or taking a nice hot shower. I mean,
Mhm.
I love hot showers.
Yeah.
And I think women enjoy hot showers more than men because I
Hmm.
think we can take the temperature more so than them because
Oh yeah.
that
Yes.
temperature, it's smoking when I get in there. It's like, are you trying to cook a lobster or something in water? When I get out, I'm all red. I'm like, but it
Right.
just feels so good when that shower is hitting you on
Yes.
your back. You like, yes. So, like you can have like some common music. Throw a little Luther on. What? Come
Oh
on,
yeah.
y'all. Little Luther or just sounds of the ocean, right?
Yes. I
Sounds
was
of
just gonna say those
the
definitely.
ocean.
The
Oh my
rain or something. Yeah.
yes. Oh my goodness, yes. Because then when you hear that, you can just really fall into it, right? You can have some candles lit, and
Hmm.
now they even got the fake candles where it's battery operated. So if you don't want to risk
Yes.
falling asleep setting the house on fire, y'all,
Right.
you can just hit the battery operated ones. They got the little flicker to it, and turn out the lights, turn on your music, and just enjoy, right?
Yes, and they have like, that is, a definitely great method. And it's like a form of aromatherapy as well too. You can get your essential oils like lavender, chamomile, eucalyptus, and they can really be soothing, and you can use them in the diffuser, or you can mix them, or while you're relaxing and getting a massage, with the different oils. And then when you go to the massage places, you smell those oils in the room, so definitely, that is some ways. And I love to get like a 90-minute massage. I was going there like every couple of weeks doing a 90 minutes. I'm like, forget the 60 minutes. I needed the 90 minutes. It's just like, oh my God.
If y'all can't make it there, see, some
Yes.
people don't know this right here. This is the whole massage thing, y'all.
Hmm.
I turn
Hmm.
this puppy on. I be sitting up here like,
Exactly. Exactly.
You can get the
You
little
can
foot
always keep a little thing to
massager.
go on your neck that can
Yeah,
massage your chair. Yes.
absolutely, absolutely.
All
So
of it.
that's
Yes.
all types. So let's get into talking about combining some techniques, right?
Yes.
Let's combine some techniques for a holistic approach as we move forward and talking about how do you manage stress and anxiety. So I
Yes.
think the best part of a lot of these techniques is number one, you can combine them together.
Yes.
To manage your stress and anxiety. So, for example, let's say you start your day with mindfulness. You can start your day with mindfulness and end your day with mindfulness because you want to be able to clear your mind. So, you can use mindfulness with some breathing. Um, and then in the afternoon, either before or right after lunch, you can go for a nice brisk walk,
Hmm.
because that's going to get you up and going.
Yes.
And at the end of your day, take a hot shower or, a nice
Hmm.
bath.
Hmm. So you could actually like schedule your week out to say, hey, this is what I'm gonna do for myself all week. And like she said, practice the things for, the mindfulness and your deep breathing. It could be in the morning and in the evening and taking a bath. So it's, about finding what works best for you
Yes. Yeah.
and making it a part of your routine. And, remember, self care isn't a one size fit all. One week you may do something one way, the next week you may do something totally different. The week after that, you may do something
Yep.
totally different than that. It's about discovering, the tools that will help you feel your best. And from week to week, that could be a little bit different. You could have more anxiety one week than you did the next week. So, it is definitely about finding out what works for you and to continuously try different things. Don't just try the same things. A lot of times people will do the same things, and that's fine that you're trying the same things, but let's explore. Let's try some things out there that we haven't tried before. You never know. It may be the best thing that could ever happen. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe I never tried this, and now it's like my go-to. So as
Yeah.
we get older, our body constantly changes. So remember, because things constantly change, sometimes the techniques and tools that we use should actually change with us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The techniques that we use, we
Yeah.
should change them. But definitely, if you are going to, incorporate these, I totally agree with Denise. Make it a part of your everyday habit.
Yes. Yeah.
Be intentional with, you know, implementing ways to manage your stress and anxiety,
Yeah,
because you want to manage it. You don't want it to manage you.
exactly.
So in the comments, y'all, put down there if you have any techniques that you're using, what you
Hmm.
combine, and what your routine is for self-care, right? Because self-care is so important. That's why Sister Self-Care Sunday exists. It's
Yeah,
just to remind you all that you have to take care of self. Because if you don't take care of self, you can't take care of anybody else. So,
exactly.
we want to thank you for joining us today. We hope that these tips and techniques can help you really manage stress and anxiety and bring you
Yeah,
more peace, more joy. And just remember, it's okay to take a step back and to prioritize your well being.
yes,
You're
absolutely.
a priority. So, when you
Yes,
don't make yourself a priority, nobody else is going to do it for you.
that's correct.
So,
And don't forget, we're all in this together. So let's continue to support and uplift each other, on this journey. Let's keep the conversation going, in our comments, and share this episode, with someone else, that may be in the same journey, And just because we tailor to Sister Self Care Sunday, I had someone ask me today, so this is just for women, and, right? And I said, it is for women, but we have some men that have stress and anxiety too. The same things
absolutely.
that we actually use for ourselves can be also a man can use the same as well. So,
Absolutely.
don't just feel that because we call it Sister Self Care Sunday that it's only, for women, because this can be a good avenue and good stress reliever, and, for men as well too. So
Absolutely.
just,
Like we
share the
have love
episode.
for our brothers too. We have
Yes,
love for our brothers
definitely.
too. So
Yes.
share this with anyone who is
Yes.
needing to manage their stress and anxiety, right? Because these tips are not gender specific.
Exactly.
So, they're applicable to anybody that's really going through stress.
Yes.
And I do have some male clients that I've had. So
Yes.
these things are transferable. They're useful no matter what. Um,
Right.
but we just have a special place and love for our sisters out there.
Yes. Yes.
And with that said, until next time, we ask that you take care of yourselves, take care of
Yes.
each other, and
Yes.
you know, we thank you so much for joining us. As Denise said, share it with somebody that you care about, or
Yes.
somebody who may be struggling and need a few tips or something. If you need anything additional, don't hesitate. You can reach out to me. You can DM me. I'll get back with you if you want any of these tips in writing. We have them. So until next time, thank you all. Stay
Thank
blessed.
you.